Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. NordVPN.com. That's NORDVPN.com. Not just a glove, it's a 44 Pro. Crafted with dedication, made for performance, and built to last. Get your custom glove today at 44pro.com and experience the 44 Pro difference. That's 44pro.com, 44 Pro.
Our patented handles were launched in 2018. We continue to push the boundaries of strength training. Join us in making your training more natural and effective. Visit Engels90.com to learn more and revolutionize your workout.
Looking for tickets to the hottest shows, games, and events? Ticket Liquidator is your one-stop shop for great prices, no hassles, and guaranteed tickets. Whether it's sports, theater, or concert, for the best seats at the biggest events, start with Ticket Liquidator today at ticketliquidator.com. Ticket Liquidator.
Introducing Bark in the Belly Premium Dog Food. 100% of profits go to help dogs in need.
Over 30% of adults struggle with chronic foot and joint pain, and many face mobility limitations as they age. But a revolutionary Comfort First slipper has taken the wellness world by storm. Try Cloud Slides and feel you are walking on the clouds. Cloud Slides.
Hey there, and welcome in to another episode of the Wicked Boston Show with Cam Stewart on Rogue Media Sports Network. I'm your host, Cam Stewart. Zach Burke behind the glass, keeping us on the air 5 days a week, live on YouTube, noon Eastern time, and then wherever you get your podcasts as well. Your lunchtime alternative to Boston Sports Talk Radio, you betcha. It's right here on the Wicked Boston Show. Today, we are not going to be talking about how my TV has been mounted at a nominal friggin' price. Oh my God. We won't be talking about that. We're going to be talking about the now prevailing thought around the NFL that Drake Maye has lost the MVP after this game on Sunday, and that Josh Allen is once again God's gift to the game of football. We will go over why Drake Maye has not lost the MVP yet, and it's not for the reason that you might think. Now, then, we are going to go to Alex Bregman, who apparently has a new suitor. A mystery team is in on Alex Bregman, what that could mean for the Red Sox and their top free agent priority, and then we will get weird. It is a weird Wednesday. Zach Burke will hand us the 3 weirdest sports stories of the week. All that and more coming up on this episode of The Wicked Boston Show with Cam Stewart. We start where we start. It's in the thumbnail. It's why you're all here right now watching live, and that is the MVP race. Because suddenly, out of nowhere, the entire complexion of this race has changed. The national media now wants Drake Maye out of the MVP race, bumped him down to 3rd in the power rankings. And NFL.com, which did their awards predictor after week 15, has a new MVP, and it's not Drake Maye. Now, look, we've been talking Maye and Matthew Stafford all season long, and I get that. But now, the powers that be, the media, they're putting Josh Allen over Drake Maye because of one game that happened on Sunday. And I do mean because of one game. Look, Stafford and Maye, again, like that's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. And that's not a bad thing. They've both been excellent this year. They have both played good enough football to win the award if it was handed out today. Like, you're really splitting hairs when you're going between those two guys. That's how good Stafford has been, because I've been raving on Drake Maye every week. Does Drake Maye bring more value to his team than Stafford does? Well, sure. But they've really been dead even this whole season. But now, Josh Allen not only gets thrown into the mix, but some books have him ahead of Drake Maye in the MVP odds. In NFL.com, they've got Stafford 1, Josh Allen 2. And that is based off one game. One game. And that's what doesn't make sense to me. Because Josh Allen is the most talented quarterback in the league, if not the alpha quarterback in the NFL. Could argue the best quarterback in the NFL with Mahomes out. Lamar Jackson, not what he was, in the past, still kind of working himself back. He had a good week this week. We'll obviously see him with the Patriots or against the Patriots on Sunday night. But if you're voting for Josh Allen to be the NFL MVP right now, then you're basing it off one game and not 17. If you're basing it off the entire season, you'd be crazy, quite frankly, to give it to Josh Allen over Drake Maye. Maye leads in every passing category except for touchdowns, but he also has 3 less picks than Josh Allen has on the year. So he has better stats, a better record, a better chance to win the division, and a better turnaround from last year to this year. That's not an opinion. That's not subjective. That's objective. Those are facts. Drake Maye leads Josh Allen in all of those things. Oh, but Cam, didn't you see the game on Sunday? If anyone you've ever known watched the game on Sunday, it was me. I watched too damn much of it, to be quite honest with you. It hurt me. The second half, vintage Josh Allen masterclass. No one is going to argue with you on that. It was that good. But that's what gets you the NFL Week 15 Offensive Player of the Week. That does not get you the MVP of the entire season. And it's not a one-week award. It's kind of fun to, check in on the other candidates week to week, see whose stock's going up, whose stock's going down, and all that. Like, that's fun. But the whole point of this award is to base it off the entire season, not based off one game. That's what Super Bowl MVPs are for. The big game, who does the best, like, that's what that award is for. Not the MVP of the league. That's not it. And then we say, oh, Josh Allen beat Drake Maye. So obviously Drake Maye's out of the race. It's like, well, no, that's not the case. Josh Allen did better against the Patriots defense than Drake Maye did against the Bills defense, for sure. But Josh Allen was not, disguising a blitz and dropping into coverage when Drake Maye takes the snap. They're not going up against each other in that way. So if this is an award based on stats and value over the entirety of the NFL regular season, Drake Maye is the winner over Josh Allen anyway. But if it's an award based off vibes and famous wives and a big game in December, then yeah, it's Josh Allen's award. But I almost find it insulting to Allen in some ways that all of a sudden the NFL media is just falling all over themselves to talk about how he should be winning the MVP now because of this one game. Like if I'm Josh Allen, I'm like, fuck. I mean, yeah, I'll take the credit here, but like I've had a pretty good season here and nobody was talking about me. They were talking about May, and they were talking about Jordan Love, and they were talking about Matthew Stafford because they all have had better seasons statistically. And they talk about Bo Nix because his team's good and Caleb Williams because his team's good. But now I win this one game and all of a sudden you guys love me again. I think it's kind of silly. I think it's kind of silly, to be honest with you. And that's something we saw with Tom Brady for a long time, coming from a biased Patriots fan here. Like we saw that with Brady forever. And in the middle of December, they'd beat Pittsburgh on the road like they always did. And they'd be like, oh, well, is Tom Brady the MVP? It was like, yeah. I mean, he's just as good as he was 2 months ago, but you guys liked this shiny new toy, whatever it was, whether it was Carson Wentz or Matt Ryan or whomever, So, yeah, if you want to base it off, yeah, Josh Allen has a more famous wife. And he outplayed Drake Maye. I'm not saying that that's not the case, but I'm saying we can't base it off one game. Drake Maye was cooking the league for 2.5 months. And one game where he's not good, again, I'm not arguing that, all of a sudden, can't even have him on there. In fact, he's not even second anymore. One bad game in 3 months. He's a fraud. He's no longer a contender. And yet when Matthew Stafford can't throw for 200 yards in a game against playoff teams, which happened twice in the last month, he became the favorite. I'm just trying to have it make sense. That's all. I'm just trying to make sense out of all of it. But honestly, even though I just gave this, 10-minute defense, even after all that, I don't think Patriots fans really care if Drake Maye wins the MVP or not. I don't think they do. I don't, for being honest. I think Drake Maye has had a great season. And, when you look at all the years that Brady could have won the MVP and didn't, you learn that you just take in a good season. Like you can go to bed at night with that. David Pasternak in the NHL, for example. Jason Tatum with the Celtics. Do either of those guys get the credit they deserve? Nope. But whatever, we will appreciate him. So I don't really care if Drake Maye wins the MVP. Like that is very much a Buffalo special. They can't get enough of that. It's like the Royals sending their guys to the All-Star game. Like that's the pinnacle for them. But I think Patriots fans care a lot more about finally getting back to the playoffs and the next 10 years of Drake Maye rather than this 1 year of Drake Maye. I think that's more what we're worried about. Where I am actually kind of pissed off, though, to peek behind the curtain here, what is actually bugging me about this NFL.com and their awards projection is NFL.com's Coach of the Year prediction. Lame. Sucks. Like, just can't tell you how much this pisses me off. This is what actually gets me worked up because they have Sean McDermott as the Coach of the Year in the NFL in the year of our Lord 2025. Sean McDermott's a good coach. Probably better than he's gotten credit for in the past. But if you're picking Sean McDermott over Mike Vrabel at this point in the season, you are living in the greater Western New York area. or you've just completely lost your mind the way Gary Busey did after that accident. Like that, those are the only two explanations here. Here is the write-up. Here's why NFL.com says Sean McDermott's the coach of the year. Speaking of the Bills, their head coach had to be thrilled by the effort his team produced after falling behind early against New England. I'm sure any coach would be thrilled about that. Buffalo has won the last 5 AFC East titles, and they proved it why on Sunday. This team usually plays its best football in November and December. The Bills won 7 of their last 9 regular season games in 2024. They ended the 2023 regular season on a 5-game win streak and the 2022 campaign on a 7-game win streak. This is what they do. Okay, we're halfway through the write-up. And the only thing they've mentioned from this season is one game that they played last week. Again, if we're basing the awards off of one fucking game, then yes, it's going to go to the Bills. The Bills are going to clean sweep it because they embarrassed the Patriots on Sunday. Back to the write-up. It was equally important for McDermott to see his underwhelming defense make some key stops that allowed quarterback Josh Allen and the Buffalo offense to get his team back in the game. Of course, the Bills still need help to have a chance of winning the division, but there's something else that has to make McDermott feel better. As long as the Bills don't implode, they'll go into their first postseason under this head coach without any chance of seeing Kansas City in January. So let's recap why the NFL thinks Sean McDermott is going to win Coach of the Year. Because they beat the Patriots on Sunday. Because they usually end the season well the last couple of years. And because Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs are not in the playoffs. That's the reason that Sean McDermott should win Coach of the Year. Like that is the worst reasoning I have ever heard for anybody to win an award. Like that's so crazy. They're saying they won a game in December and they've now split the season series with the Patriots. And because the Bills won't see Kansas City, then he should be Coach of the Year. Like any time that you're starting the last sentence with, as long as the Bills don't implode and do make the playoffs, then I don't think we can be talking about a Coach of the Year candidate, right? Because the bottom line is this. They did have the MVP quarterback going into this season, okay? They had the most valuable player at quarterback. The Patriots had a second-year starter, barely. Had to get through halfway through this season just to have a 17 games as a starter. Okay. McDermott's been there for 5 years. Can't get to the Super Bowl with the best quarterback in the league, statistically. But damned if he's not the Coach of the Year this year. Buffalo had the best odds of any team in the NFL to win any single division. There was no one that Vegas was more confident in to win a division in the NFL this year than the Buffalo Bills winning the AFC East. And here we are a week before Christmas, and they not only haven't wrapped it up, but they're not even in the driver's seat. They don't even control their own destiny in the AFC East. They needed to win on Sunday just to have that opportunity. So that's where, we've totally lost the plot here. If we're talking about pretty much any other scenario at the end of a season where you had the best odds of anybody to win your division with 3 other soup cans in the AFC East and you don't win the division, we should be talking about firing that coach, not winning the division. Or, excuse me, we should be talking about firing that coach, not winning Coach of the Year. I'm not saying Sean McDermott should be fired, but if I laid out that to you, would you be saying, yeah, that's my guy, Coach of the Year? Look at the miracle that he's pulled off. He hasn't even won the division. Mike Vrabel, on the other hand, comes in year 1. He's got a team that has won 8 games in the last 2 seasons. An absolute mess of an organization. Total mess of a situation. Brings in some of his guys, cuts the only guys who have Super Bowl rings on this team. Rolls with Drake Maye, who looked impressive last year, but I don't think anyone was expecting what he's got out of him this year. And they're the ones that are in pole position to win the AFC East. So if you told me before this season that the Patriots, a week before Christmas, controlled their own destiny to win the AFC East, and you said, who's the Coach of the Year? No one in their right mind is saying Sean McDermott. Nobody. They would all be saying Mike Vrabel. All of them. And again, nothing has changed. The Bills did not win the division on Sunday. They didn't wrap up a playoff spot. The best thing that happened to them on Sunday was that the Chiefs are eliminated from the playoffs. And literally that is the reasoning they're giving. Because they won't have to face Kansas City, Sean McDermott should be coach of the year. I'm no math major, but none of this is adding up. None of this. And it's just Bills fellatio week. They haven't clinched anything. And they're not closer than the team they just beat. And when we talk about the MVP specifically, and also the coach of the year, it does remind me of this old Bill Belichick lesson. Like 3/4 of the way through the year, he'd show his team in meetings. He'd show them a horse race, Kentucky Derby, Preakness, one of those things. And he'd pause it like halfway or 3/4 of the way through the race. And he'd say, okay, guys, who's going to win the race? And, everyone's throwing out their predictions. They're talking about the guy in the lead. And, someone thinks they know more. And they're like, no, this jockey's got this horse ready to go. That's in third right now. And they're going back and forth. And Bill Belichick says, none of it matters. The race isn't over. Like nobody takes stock in who's the MVP after week 15. They don't hand out awards for that. So that's the most important thing to remember out of all this. And again, if I couldn't care less if Drake Maye loses the MVP and it's Matthew Stafford that wins it, or even Josh Allen, to be fair. I think he'd have better numbers than Josh Allen because he does right now. But okay, I'd rather take my chances on the playoffs and how they're going to do there. But if Sean McDermott wins coach of the year over Mike Vrabel, something is really wrong. We've either gotten into complete Patriots derangement syndrome, or this team is so good that they can't even say that their coach is impressive because they're just that good. And I don't think that's the case. I think they're good. I don't think they're this impenetrable team. Like, you couldn't give Belichick the coach of the year every year, but that's crazy. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Of course, we come at you live on YouTube every weekday, noon Eastern time, and then we're available wherever you get your podcasts as well. Your lunchtime alternative to Boston Sports Talk Radio. It's right here on the Wicked Boston Show with Cam Stewart. When we come back, I want to talk about something that's happening in the NBA. I'm calling a bit of an audible here because there's some Red Sox topics that we need to get to this week, but we'll try and get to that today. But first, I got to address something happening in the NBA that makes sports look really, really stupid. That's coming up next on the Wicked Boston Show.
Dive into adventure with scuba.com, your ultimate destination for top-tier scuba and snorkeling gear. Whether you're a beginner or a pro, trust scuba.com for the best in diving equipment and expert guidance. Explore now at scuba.com. That's SCUBA.com. Scuba.com.
It's the Restore Clarity Focus Patch, my little secret weapon for staying sharp, focused, and on task. Each box comes with simple instructions inside, so you always know exactly how to apply it. Each patch lasts for 3 days. I love that I can wear it all day.
This is what $500,000 in a duffel bag looks like. Actually not real. That's because it's actually prop money. It looks realistic from a distance, but up close you can see it says for motion picture purposes. Visit propmoney.com today to get your money seen or money shot right with Prop Money Inc.
Golf Partner, the world's largest golf store network, offers more purchasing opportunities than anywhere else. With a dominant market share and a wider selection of quality secondhand golf clubs than our competitors, we make it easy for you to enjoy the game with affordable, top-quality equipment. Golf Partner.
It doesn't matter if your investment budget is small or big. All you need is Benzinga Pro and its powerful news alerts, price tracking, and portfolio monitoring. Subscribe now, and we'll skyrocket your portfolio today.
Experience with the Bosley MD hair regrowth kit was amazing. It was easy to use. It let me take off my hat I could go in public and have my picture taken and feel normal again.
BosleyMD.com.
Gosh, I always get so soothed by the magic flame. It's so good. It's one of our best advertisers just because it gets you in the mood, gets you ready to come back to where we are right now. And that is the Wicked Boston Show on Rogue Media Sports Network. We're live on YouTube as we are every weekday, noon Eastern time, live on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts as well. I'm your host, Cam Stuart. Zach Burke behind the glass, keeping us on the air every day. We're actually going to hear from Zach in a few minutes on our Weird Wednesday segment. But I wanted to talk about a couple other things first. And I will start with the Red Sox here. I will start with the Red Sox. And this Red Sox offseason just continues to get weirder. You know, the tweet comes out yesterday from like MLB that the only two teams that have not signed a free agent yet in this offseason are the Red Sox and the Rockies. And that's not really the company that you want to keep if you're the Boston Red Sox. And this is supposed to be the big offseason. Trades and free agent signings. And priority number one has to be Alex Bregman. That's what we've heard from everyone that covers this team, that follows this team, all of it. Bregman's got to be priority one. In fact, we basically heard it from the Red Sox. And this has been a weird 24 hours. Bob Nightingale has the report that the Diamondbacks are kicking the tires on Alex Bregman. They are the mystery team that is coming in for Alex Bregman, kind of out of nowhere, right? It was the Cubs, it was the Tigers, it was the Mariners, and now we hear the Diamondbacks. And Jared Carrabis takes it one step further. He says they're not just kicking the tires. There's real interest in Alex Bregman to Arizona. Red Sox fans got a good report on Wednesday morning that was, hey, the Diamondbacks really aren't going to be able to make that move until they get rid of Ketel Marte, which is one of the teams or one of the players that the Red Sox are in on as a trade candidate. But it sounds like there is legit interest there. And we were hoping and praying that the last couple of weeks that the market was saturated for Alex Bregman, that it was shrinking, that, you know, Detroit was probably out of the mix. Seattle wasn't really interested. Boris just really wanted them to be interested. And the Cubs really liked what they got out of Matt Shaw in the second half of the year. So it was kind of the Red Sox about to be bidding against themselves. But now Arizona's interested. And so can the Red Sox still go out and trade for Ketel Marte without the worry that Arizona's next move might be to go sign Alex Bregman? I'd have to say that's a real concern for the Red Sox at this point. So I decided to look into it. Alex Bregman or Ketel Marte, which one would you rather have on the Red Sox? Most of you just answered, obviously, Alex Bregman. Like, look at his career, look at his body of work, look at what he's done with the young guys in the clubhouse, which cannot be measured, really. You know, the help that he's given these youngsters, and they will have a young core, and they all credited Alex Bregman with helping them. He's good defensively. Before he got hurt, he was having an excellent year, and even after he got hurt, he still had a pretty good month before the slump really hit. I think a lot of Red Sox Nation is preggy for Breggy, dude. They want to keep him here. But if you look at it side by side, it's not that simple. Oh, Cam, you're going to talk about last year's numbers. Ketel Marte went nuclear with the power numbers. Of course, Bregman's not going to live up to that. Okay, fine. Let's look at the last two seasons then. When Bregman was in a contract year in Houston, and then for all intents and purposes, was in a contract year in Boston. Ketel Marte is fat and happy. He's in the middle of a contract in these two seasons. Bregman is playing for a contract in both of them. Let's see the side-by-side, shall we? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I was not expecting that. Ketel Marte has played 3 more games, but I'd say that's pretty even. 10 more plate appearances in these 2 years. Look at that difference. That is crazy. Ketel Marte is worth 3.5 more wins over 2 seasons than Alex Bregman is. And Bregman, as good a contact hitter as he is, doesn't have the batting average or the OBP that Ketel Marte has, or the hits that Ketel Marte has. Power numbers, it's not even close. 20 more home runs for Ketel. 30 more RBI. OPS, over 120 points higher. The OPS plus, Ketel Marte is 50% better than the league average hitter. Bregman's only 21%. And is Bregman a better defensive player? Sure he is. Yes, he is. For sure. But his defensive metrics dipped last year at third base. And Ketel Marte, although not a better defender, does fit a position hole that the Red Sox have had for years and years and years, and that's second base. Now, I know there's spots for both of them, right? If Bregman re-signs, Marcelo Meyer can play second, and I'm pretty happy. But if you don't re-sign Bregman, Marcelo Meyer can play third for however many games he's going to play this season. And Ketel Marte, who statistically is a much better hitter over the last 2 seasons, can be your second baseman. And he hits from both sides of the plate. So in some ways, he can help your right-handed power hitter problem, although Bregman, of course, does it more because he's a right-handed hitter. But when you're going up against lefty pitchers, which is when it really matters, Ketel Marte swings around to the other side of the plate. I was shocked when I saw this. I know Marte's coming off a good year, but we're talking basically the same amount of games, the same amount of plate appearances over 2 seasons. We're taking defensive metrics somewhat into account with WAR. And yet Marte smashes him. He beats him in every category. Even stolen bases. Ketel Marte has it. And by the way, look at these averages. He has it pretty considerably. 23 points in batting average. 40 points in OBP. Right? Almost 90 points in slugging. 120 in OPS. And 29 points higher in OPS plus. Like, this isn't even close. Man, this is not a fair fight here. And I love Bregman. And I think that where Bregman, what we kind of talked about earlier, where Bregman really separates himself is being the guy who's been there before. Now, Ketel Marte has played in the World Series, but Bregman has played in 4. He makes the playoffs every single year that he's played. So there is something invaluable to that, and Ketel Marte, he had the thing last year where he left his team right after the All-Star break. There was the break-in. Tough to really get on him too much for that. But Bregman, everyone in that clubhouse, including the manager, credits them with having a better team because Bregman was there even when he's not playing. So I'd be like a pig in shit with either of these guys. And you know what the best part is? The best part out of all of this? They could have both. There's nothing that says they can't have both other than the fact that they're the friggin' Red Sox and this is how they operate now. And they haven't signed a single free agent yet, not even a Dustin May type. So, in theory, if they were a regular big market team, if they were the Texas Rangers even, they could land both of these guys. But the Red Sox do not do business like that anymore. So you're probably going to have to pick one or the other. So then that becomes, who is it? If you're a Red Sox fan right now, are you taking Alex Bregman or Ketel Marte? Let me know in the comment section below. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. We come at you live on YouTube every weekday, noon Eastern time, and then we're available wherever you get your podcasts as well. It is your lunchtime alternative to Boston Sports Talk Radio. It is right here on the Wicked Boston Show with Cam Stewart. When we come back, it's time to get weird. It's that time of the week, and it's that time of the day. Zach Burke will give us the weirdest sports stories of the week on Weird Wednesday. That is next.
Holiday football has arrived. With DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, the unexpected can turn game day into payday. And don't forget, DraftKings has your back with early exit. If your player goes down in the first half, you still get paid in cash. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code CAMSHOW. That's code CAMSHOW. New customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins instantly. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 8778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 8887-897777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas, pass-through of per wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets, which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio limited time offer.
It's hard to find supplements that work. No, thank you. Plant-based supplements made from the Earth's most powerful plants for your immune health, gut health, workouts, and more. Find out more at auraorganic.com.
BadCreditLoans.com is a pioneering service provider that has carved a reputation in the financial industry. Simple, fast, and reliable loan application process. And its commitment to responsible borrowing makes it a trusted partner in the journey towards financial stability.
A house is a property, but we live in homes. Home sweet home. Homes where the heart is. We aim to deliver the best home buying and selling experience so you can spend less time real estating and more time living.
With Ease US, make studio quality voiceovers for your videos online in over 149 languages and dialects. Never been easier to create professional grade videos and voiceovers. Try it today at easeus.com. That's EASEUS.com. Ease US. Nalgene Outdoor has been your trusted companion, fueling adventures and helping protect the planet. We're committed to reducing waste, improving access to clean water, and providing simple, safe, and sustainable products for you and your family. NALGENE.com.
Sorry, do Sydney Sweeney Instagram post. Just 1 sec. 1 sec. Like. Okay, back here on the Wicked Boston Show, Rogue Media Sports Network. Let's bring Zach Burke in here. It's Weird Wednesday, and I kind of want to control the tempo here. Zach, sorry, I should have looked at that earlier in the commercial break.
I get it. Duty calls.
Yeah, I didn't have to go to the bathroom or anything. Before we get into Weird Wednesday, I want to flip the script because I want to open with a weird story.
Okay.
And it's not really weird, but I just wanted to talk about it with you.
All right.
I talked about it with Pete this morning.
I'm sorry.
So I am a champion of sports fans celebrating small victories.
Okay.
Okay. Not like, no need to take a victory lap on stuff, but like, for example, like last year, Baylor beat TCU for the first time in 5 years. They were both like 8-4 teams. I think they were both 4-4 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, who cares? No, the college football playoff, right? Yeah. But I care. That's fun, and fans care, and I like that kind of thing. But I got to draw a line somewhere. So I wake up this morning and grab myself a gun. Woke up this morning and I have an alert on my phone, like a Bleacher Report alert, and it's got like the big red alarm sounds, and it's in all caps. I'm like, oh my God. Like this only happens like when Luka Doncic gets traded. Like that's where we get this. And the headline says Knicks end 52-year drought.
Oh, no.
I think it actually, I'm incorrect on that. It said Knicks end drought. And I looked at it and I'm like, I haven't watched the NBA outside of the Celtics this year.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, did the Knicks lose like 15 games in a row? Like, am I missing some historic losing streak by a good team? Like, what is happening? No, it was, the subhead was like 52-year wait is over.
No,
Knicks
that's
have
horseshit.
a championship.
That's
They win the
horseshit. That's
NBA
not the
Cup.
same at all. That's not the same at all. I can
I
tell
was
you.
like, what the fuck, man?
Now, I have talked about this things around it a frequent amount this morning because I can't get that word out. Because the team that the Knicks played was Mike San Antonio Spurs. So we talked about it a little bit. And the one thing we didn't talk about was that, but I can guarantee you, and maybe it's because he's a fan of a team who knows what it's like to win a championship, I guess. But if they would have won that cup, they don't count it as, that is so dumb.
It doesn't mean anything, man.
They're the most irrelevant franchise in all of basketball. That if they want to go ahead and claim this is one, sure, go ahead. But no, they're still just shitty, man. And they can get mad when they don't even make it to the Eastern Conference Finals again. And we have to hear like, oh, I thought this was our year. No, the Knicks are not a team capable of doing that and winning the big one. So fine, if they want to count this as their championship, then they can have it. But that's stupid.
And
that is so dumb.
Videos like Spike Lee like dancing around. I'm like, what? I've got other things. Karl Anthony Towns is calling Timothy Chalamet after the game. I'm like, what are we doing?
Are they cutting uncut gems too? That's the only reason that should be happening.
Like the prestige of winning this is to give more money to the players. Like there's literally zero at stake.
No, I was going to bring it up in some of our weird, but I'll talk about it here. There's two things that I saw from it without knowing that. It was both Josh Hart related. One was him constantly while they're trying to celebrate going, they're called game checks, right? They're called game checks, right? Which I thought was just funny. That's just him being him. And then he also gooses, like while they're celebrating, he straight up just like tried to thumb, Jalen Brunson right in the backside. And Brunson's like, dude, that's the weird things that I took from it. Not that they were going to count it as their third fucking title.
Are they going to hang a banner? I think
remember how much crap they gave the Lakers for this?
I mean, to be fair, this is a building. This is a building. Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena.
The Mecca.
They literally have a banner for Billy Joel. So clearly there's not much that you need to do. Right?
No,
he played 600 shows there, and they gave him a fucking banner.
Here's the thing: the Jerry Sloan stupid ass retired number makes more sense than Billy Joel having one in the Garden. I get.
Yeah, I mean, he coached the team. He coached the team.
More, yeah, it's more than just sports. Like they have a lot there. I totally get that, but still, come on.
It's so dumb, man. It's so dumb. So I had to send a screenshot of like the drought thing to my dad because I knew he'd get a kick out of this, right? And he just sends me. He sends back. He's proof there's a God. That's what he says back to me.
Like I want to make sure that I'm not. I feel like out of all of us, like you obviously have more, being a Celtics fan, like more thoughts on the Knicks than I do. But I just think that they're a team. Like I don't know another fan base that has done so little in the last 30 years, apart from maybe the Dallas Cowboys, to have to listen to this is our year. This is going to be, we're just one player away. We're fine.
Yeah. I think the Knicks have good fans.
For sure.
In terms of passion. I think the franchise, which doesn't have to do with the fans in this sense, though I think the franchise is pathetic.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair thing to say. You know,
I agree.
The biggest market in the sport. Because, like everyone would get on the Celtics forever of like, Boston's a racist city. So that's why guys won't sign as free agents with the Celtics. And the Celtics' biggest free agent signing ever is Al Horford. So like there's proof to that. There's not a lot of great free agent signings there, but it's like, okay, who went to the Knicks? Like, because when you use that argument, you're really just talking about the Lakers get free agents, and they do. They have an unfair advantage because they have the best weather on the goddamn planet. Like, you know what I mean? And they live amongst celebrities, and that's cool, I guess. But like the Knicks don't sign anybody. They don't sign big free agents.
No.
Like the Sixers, do they sign big free agents?
No.
The Bulls certainly don't. The Bulls never sign big free agents. That's like never happened. Chicago's a great city, you know? So
the Bulls aren't doing too well, but yeah,
Chicago's but like going with the Knicks, like it's the same thing. It's like, I think they ended up I think it was a sign and trade for Brunson. So that's close. I'll give you that.
Well, it was a trade for Cat too, because they sent Randall to Minnesota. Yeah.
So like that's kind of the way the NBA works, is basically the moral of the story. But Boston, people don't go there because it's racist, But yeah, I think the Knicks are a pathetic franchise, and
I agree with that. I'm
good
just making
basketball
sure that
town, and it's a town that, in theory, people should want to go and play in. And yet, 50 years of nothing in terms of an NBA championship.
Well, it'll be 51
They've been to the finals,
after
and I think
this
that
year.
counts for something.
I don't
but-
feel bad calling that either. Like, I'm sure they won the cup. That's congrats. Maybe they're
And, like,
rightfully
the whole
so to
NBA
celebrate
Cup
it.
in general, dude. Like, Pete asked the question, who is this for? Like, I understand why the NBA wants to do it. I
Yes,
get
no, I get that
it
too.
because I'm a big soccer fan. I understand it, but the FA Cup happened like the same time they formed the league, like in general. You know what I mean? And with those competitions, the Champions League, you're playing against other best teams from Europe.
Yeah.
You can't replicate that in the NBA.
Exactly.
And with the domestic cups, what's great about it is you can have someone from a lower league beating a bigger team. In that model, it would be, I don't know.
I would think
Butler beating the
yeah.
Knicks, and you can't replicate that. So
No.
this is just it's a phony tournament for nobody, just so they can put new colors on the court.
Which
and
all
give the
those
players
courts look
money.
terrible, by the way.
Like, oh, great, Jalen Brunson's getting some more money. Awesome. He's
mean,
getting $40 million a year, and his dad, oh yeah, also works for the team. That's great. What an underdog story.
Yeah. No, you make a great point of, like, obviously I understand why they're doing it to replicate the same, like, in-season tournament that soccer has, but that's right. Like, in the FA Cup, like, Tottenham's not going to be playing other Premier League teams. Like, there could be one in there, or
It
but
does
for the
happen.
most part,
And
it's all
by the time you get to the semis, it usually is.
Yeah.
But
it would have to be, I guess, college teams playing along the pro teams here. Like, I don't know how else we would do it in the States, and there's no way they're going to do that. Or what, you're going to have G League? You could throw G League
that'd be
teams out
great.
there.
I'd watch that.
Yeah, that would be
I think
fun.
that'd
Like,
be
you
fun.
do that, but anyway, I'll get through the rest of these pretty quick.
Yeah,
but no,
sorry.
I'm with that's
Sorry
no.
about that. I thought that was weird enough that, like,
Yeah,
I just
very
thought
much
it was
so.
so funny, man. I was like, we're really doing this?
That's
Really?
so
Anyway,
dumb.
Weird Wednesday. What do we got?
That is so dumb. All right, so another one I'll stick with the NFL on last Thursday night's game between the Bucks and the Falcons. Did you realize that Baker Mayfield had a little bit of history that he made on his touchdown pass to Devin Culp?
I did not.
Devin Culp became the 48th player to catch a touchdown from Mayfield, which is the most of any quarterback 30 or younger. So it should just point out that while Baker is able to throw touchdown passes, it's not to a lot of the same repeat offenders.
Well, you got to take into account.
Yeah,
First, he was playing for the Browns.
that's true.
Even when they had some good seasons in there, that's a lot of personnel turnover.
21 different players in Cleveland he threw touchdown passes to.
In 4 years?
I
Maybe a little
think
longer.
so. I think I think it's 4. He's played with 4 teams. I have the breakdown. In Carolina, he only
God, I
threw
forgot he
to
played in Carolina.
six touchdown passes to 6 different players. And for the Rams, he only added 2 touchdown passes.
Really?
And then now with the Bucks, he has added 19. With a majority of those going to 19 different players over the course of 3 seasons. with the
That's
Bucks.
also kind of crazy because that's what? This is his 3rd year?
Yeah. So 19 different players in 3 years in Tampa Bay.
And how old is he? You said 29?
He's 30. I think he's exact. I think
He is 30. Okay. Yeah. I gotta give it to Baker, man. He wasn't the most likable guy in college, that's for sure.
Mhm.
But he has made a nice career for himself, and he's really kind of revived. This is kind of the era of the revived quarterback career, especially last year with Baker and Sam Darnold, obviously. And Darnold's having a damn good year this year too. And Baker, although his team is not as good as the Panthers suddenly, he's still having a good year, and he's had a bunch of injuries actually on that side of the ball. But he's kind of resurrected his career rather nicely. But what was the total number you said?
48 different players.
8.
He's thrown touchdowns to.
That's nuts, man.
Yeah.
48. Oh, Geno Smith was another one. Resurrection, not having a great year.
That's true.
1-0 against the Patriots this year somehow. But 48. Wow, that is wild. Maybe that's a wild Wednesday.
I had, funny enough, when I was looking through stories, you covered it a bit. And the MLB, the whole Bregman, Ketel Marte thing is just kind of the strangest thing going on there right now of how they can essentially, swap but still be different, how all that works out. I did see, and this is more international, but I thought it fit with us, especially since we're getting close to. Actually, this reminds me, I needed to talk to you about something before the show. Stay around after so I can talk to you about something else.
Fine.
But since we are getting close to the end of the year, The Guardian came out with their anti-sports personality of the year award for 2025, like a short list.
Sorry, anti-sports personality.
Yes. So
does that mean
the worst person in sports for the year?
Gotcha. Okay.
Yes.
So like the non-sportsman of the year.
Exactly.
The antithesis of that. Gotcha.
And so
I kind of like that idea.
I do too. And now this is
own.
through the whole world. So this is a lot of world stuff, but it brought up two very interesting stories from things that we definitely will not cover. So there was a scandal that embroiled not one, not two, but 5 Norwegian athletes, 2 of them gold medalists, 3 team officials, all of them men from the Norwegian ski jumping team. Do you want to know why? Because they decided to reinforce the crotches of their suits. So that counted as cheating. And
stuffing.
It is. Well, here's it like a huge thing. Well, no, I guess they just use different thread. But I don't understand like the amount of like head hanging and just like shame that the team officials, like this one team coach said was, it was a deliberate act. Therefore it was cheating. It was a joint decision. I should have stopped it, but we didn't. We regret it.
It just got out of control, man.
Yeah, he goes, we regret it like dogs for adding extra seams around the crotch area. Like, come on, man.
Where's the competitive advantage? That's what I want to know.
They say it's supposed to help with aerodynamics and stuff, but I don't know about that.
But anything can, bro. Like that's.
Well, it led to another a former Norwegian jumper who said that, like, I've cheated several times. If by wearing a suit that's a little too big is cheating, then yeah, I've cheated. The way I look at it, and I love this, the norm in sports has always been, if you don't get caught, you haven't cheated.
I mean,
again, I don't know if I call this cheating. Like, I get what they're going for. I guess they altered the suit some, but that's just really freaking weird to me. Not as weird as the next one. First of all, did you know that there is a world pool championship?
Like billiards.
Like billiards, yes.
I'm not surprised.
Would you be surprised?
I watched it. Yeah.
No, that's fine. Would you be surprised if I told you, like all other sporting events, it was held in Saudi Arabia this year?
That would have been my first choice. Like legit, that would have been my first choice. Yeah.
Exactly. Well,
that's where the camel racing,
Yeah, no, I totally, I'm making sure that we touch on a lot of stuff. Well, this was held back in July with 128 of the world's best cue wielders is how it brings this up here for $1 million purse. Multiple people were accused of using wax on the cue balls, which I did not know that was a cheating tactic. Apparently somebody would like spray their glove and then like touch the cue ball, but it causes the way that it like moves on the felt or even how it spins. Exactly. Both of the people accused, at least in the article I found, were from the Philippines team. So I don't know if it was a team thing.
Classic.
Yeah.
Those Filipinos, man, they're always trying to cheat in billiards, dude. It's like, it's long held stereotype.
Yep. So then the one that I wanted to end with out of these, because it was just are you familiar with curling at all?
I mean, I know of it.
But are you familiar? Maybe you can help me with some of the phrasing in this. The Chinese team has caused consternation.
They're from China.
At the World Curling Championship, which was held in Moose Jaw this year in Saskatchewan. But that's like
the hub of like that
of
upper
curling?
Midwest and into Canada, the plains of Canada. That's where curling is number one.
I get it. Well, the Chinese team was caught on video burning a rock. Do you know what that means? They weren't sitting there getting blazed before they were headed out on the ice.
Yeah, but I think the thing they use is a rock.
Yeah,
like the thing that they actually so burning it, I would imagine, would make it way less.
See, that would make sense. No, they touched it with their broom to affect how it moved. I know it's a lot less, but
you can't touch the rock.
They can't. No, well, I mean, not only did they burn a rock against Norway, They also got in trouble for allegedly kicking a stone on their way to beating Germany.
Can't do that.
And this was all before, I don't understand what any of this means. The Chinese women's team had been accused of dumping all over rocks during their world championship in Korea in March. So I have no clue what the phrase
number 2
dumping all over rocks means. Yeah.
Just couldn't make it to the bathroom.
I guess, but that's that Chinese, bunch of cheaters on the Chinese. I'm Googling that. So those were some of the nominees for the worst sporting people. Oh, here we go. It's an illegal move where a player intentionally puts debris like loose dirt or loose pebbles in the path.
How do you like? I mean, obviously you didn't get away with that, but like, how do you even think you're gonna win? You're on, yeah, but like you're on ice. You know what I mean? Like you could see that.
I have to think that they're just like looking around, like, oh, nobody's noticing, and they just throw it down like in front of the stone as it's moving.
Just one of these. One of those.
Yeah, one of those. I had another one that was just, it was silly. I don't know if you know or not, the Oilers and Penguins traded goalies.
This was great, dude. This was great last night. Yeah,
I was trying to find video of it. I couldn't, but I can at least talk about where each goalie, they essentially swapped teams and had to play for their new teams, but still wore their old mask. So you had
against each other.
Yeah. So it was like the Oilers goalie had his Edmonton, kit on, his jersey on, but his Penguins mask, and then vice versa, where the Penguins goalie had the Penguin suit on and his Oilers mask.
It was almost like a charity game or something.
It was.
And then
I like the way it looked.
It gets even better, Zach. It gets even better.
Okay.
Stuart Skinner, who went to Pittsburgh, is from Edmonton, and he played for the Oilers and was one of the reasons they lost the last 2 Stanley Cup finals. He's just not a very good goalie. And they had this happened, this trade just happened.
Mm-hmm.
And Leon Draisaitl scored his 1,000th point in that game. And so he scores a goal, and the entire team comes off the bench to celebrate with him in the corner. And Stuart Skinner, who was his teammate for 8 years or something up until this week, has to just stand there in the goal while everyone's celebrating around him. And he's just like, and it's a delay because they're doing that.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what an empty moment, man. What a piss poor moment for this guy, who now plays for one of the worst teams in the league, instead of the team that went to the last 2 Stanley Cup finals. But then again, Stu Skinner's not having a good year again. So, but yeah, wild moment. Weird stuff.
There you go. That is what I have for our Weird Wednesday this week.
That was good. That was good and weird. Zach, I appreciate you as always. I appreciate everyone who watched. And guess what? We'll see them all tomorrow. High noon Eastern time, live on YouTube, then wherever you get your podcasts. Your daily lunchtime alternative to Boston Sports Talk Radio, right here on the Wicked Boston Show with Cam Stewart. We'll see you then.
Relax with Hemp Delicious. Organically grown hemp, massively blended with delicious organic herbs, responsibly sourced for their holistic benefits. Each sip offers calming, antioxidant-rich wellness. Brewed just for you. Sip the calm with Hemp Delicious.
At Open Goal USA, we're revolutionizing training for both soccer and lacrosse with our innovative portable rebounders. Perfect for players of all ages and skill levels. Visit OpenGOAAALUSA.com and elevate your training today.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farm, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
Get paid faster with Bill, the easiest way to send, receive, and manage your payments. No more delays, no more hassle. Whether you're a freelancer or a business, Bill makes payments seamless and secure, simple, fast, and reliable. Sign up today at Bill.com. We are Rogue Media Sports.